Hey, what's up and hello. This is the Chris Nicole bringing you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on what time you are watching this live. Hello, crew. Hope all is well. Happy Sunday. Hope you're starting off the week fresh and blessed. And we about to get into it with Belle Collective. Hey, Adrian, how are you? Season 5, episode 5. More money, more problems. Now, if I had to rate this episode, I would give it a C plus. And the reason why I say a C plus is because I do feel like they brought more balance to this episode. And I did like some of the conversations, the serious conversations that they had during this episode, even if some of them felt fake as hell. But at the same time, I like the fact that they're trying to bring balance. This was probably the first episode in a very long time where we saw some drama, but we also saw some serious conversations between Black women that, things that we definitely need to discuss amongst each other. So I give it a C plus. Y'all let me know what y'all rate this episode. But we're about to get started. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in. Hit the like button on the way in. And I will definitely say this is another episode, an example of real men versus Belle boys. Okay? Real men versus Belle boys. I say it time and time again. If y'all can't tell the difference between Willie and JJ versus Glenn and Green Eye Bandit Cliff, God help you. But let's get started. So they're still at the improv BS. And Letitia mentions the New Orleans trip. And Maria's like, okay, yeah, great. Is Antoinette invited? And look, you can't convince me Antoinette and Latrice did not plan this. Hey, Joseph, they planned this. And my thing is, this is what I do not respect about this Belle nonsense, trying to make it seem like they are completely in the dark as to what's going on. Latrice says later on in the episode that yes, that's her friend, but she's an adult. She makes her own decisions or whatever the case may be. She's responsible for her own actions. Yes, she is. But we not going to pretend like y'all didn't have this damn conversation before you walked in, because Miss Antoinette was on ready. She was going a little bit too hard. I would respect you more, Latrice, if you just stood 10 toes down on your gangster and said, child, I brought her because she had stuff to get off her chest and she needed to let it out. Point blank, period. So I respect that more if you just be honest, but she always trying to play like she's innocent and she doesn't understand why people come at her. You and Antoinette went in there with a purpose and a plan. And that's why Antoinette kept talking shit. But to me, I don't know about y'all. Hey, Sean. Hey, Kay Calloway. I don't watch the show, but here for the commentary and for support. I appreciate you so much. So that's interesting, Sean, that you say JJ is a Belle, but Cliff and Glenn aren't Bells. That's interesting. We're going to have to talk about that one. But with that being said, Antoinette, in my opinion, 4 years removed, a good 4 years removed. The fact that she still had this much energy over something that happened more than 4 years ago, especially something that is not true. Like, let's be honest here. Don't nobody want Glenn but Letitia. Glenn is not someone that I could see a lot of women knocking down his door. Sorry. So to me, this, in my opinion, Antoinette, the way that she just came too hard. It was like, I don't know if that was good TV. I don't know if that was good TV. Like, the reason why I say that is because Antoinette, she hasn't been there. So to me, for her to be the mouthpiece of 4+ years of her being removed, it just came off desperate, and it came off like, I'm trying to do what I can to shut stuff down and possibly get back on the show. It just seemed a little bit too much for me. She has not been there since the first season. You know what I'm saying? She has not been there since the first freaking season. Why are you going so hard? Hey, Miss. Thank Thank you, Miz. Like, is it just me? Y'all let me know. She was going too hard for someone who is so above this shit and is so about losing money and how she did everything on her own. She didn't need to go fund me. She was going a little bit too hard. Then on top of that, when Letitia was like, oh no, I was going to invite you, but since you want to play with me, bitch, no, you're not invited and I'm going to need you to leave. Antoinette gets up. She's still not done. She's still not done. Antoinette gets up and she was like, if it wasn't for your husband cheating on you being a storyline, but I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. Look the way Akeisha looking. Look at Akeisha's face. Look at this. I got a good clip of this. Akeisha was enjoying every bit of it because you know she don't really like Letitia. She deal with Letitia, but after Letitia came at her and talking about her family don't want her, I think it's up and it's stuck when it comes to Akeisha and Letitia. It's just that she knows she got to work with her because of this show. But literally, Akeisha was enjoying that part. It did fall flat. She don't know how to read. But she was like, if it wasn't, you know what I'm saying, for your husband cheating on you, you wouldn't have a storyline. But all I know is next thing I know, somebody's touching somebody. I don't know if both of them accuse each other of touching each other, but producers got involved, baby, and was like, you got to go. So this is when I was just like, hold up now. And if Antoinette put hands on Letitia, Antoinette, is it worth you going through that where you getting physical and you have a license, a medical license, a medical business, you're a dentist? Like, I'll be damned. But they go outside. And so at that point, she's like, Akeisha, did I offend you? So did I offend you? The main problem with the Belle Collective is Letitia Pearson. She's the problem. I agree with that. But Latrice is also the problem. Marie is also the problem. Hell, all of them are the problem. You know what I'm saying? All of them are the problem. So it's not just Letitia. And for the life of me, I'm still trying to figure out what Letitia does for a living. I don't even remember the first season, what she says she actually does. She claims she does brunches, women empowerment. I guess in this social media world, you can make a living off of that. But yeah. And then she started doing the books and all of that stuff once she started getting the fame off of this show. But what the hell did she do before that? It seemed to me she was a housewife whose husband was working and she kind of did little things on the side and she promoted this show to Carlos, pitched it to him, and he picked it up. I don't know, but it don't seem like she really has much going on. But with that being said, apparently she is the driving force behind this show, I guess. We'll see if that changes. But with that being said, yeah, Letitia's a problem. But at the same time, I would say all of them are a problem. To me, there's small little genuine relationships amongst them. Like I feel like So Gucci and Akeisha definitely, you know what I'm saying, like have a great relationship and a genuine relationship. But a lot of them are just phony and fake towards each other. Like there's nothing genuine about it. The Empty Enterprise, that was not a book, that was a pamphlet or word. Yeah, it just I don't know. It's like Antoinette had good points but bad energy. I wonder if they're going to invite her to the reunion. I think that's what she wants. To me, she came hard like that because that's clearly what she wants. I'm confused. A bail bondsman business. You know what? Do they really need that many bail bondsmen in Jackson, Mississippi? How many do you need in Jackson, Mississippi? Is it really popping out there like that where you need that? Like, I guess. Anywho, so moving on from the situation. So at that point, child, Tambra finally says, I'm going to sit down with this damn Marie and we're going to talk. Okay. But before that, Letitia crying, talking about something. I truly love all y'all. I really do. Girl, bye. Like, it ain't giving real for me. But Tambra's like, look, Marie, I felt like I didn't do anything to you to deserve what you did. Marie claims that I guess some girl named Keisha is the one who came to them about this guy that's her friend and how Marie and Letitia wanted to know exactly what the hell he wanted. But Marie threw me off on this point, and this is when I have to say, Marie, you know what? I'm sick of your shit at this point too. But I'm tired of her crying too, Adrian. Like, it's becoming too much. But Marie says, we were trying to figure out what this guy wanted because that type of stuff, that's what females do. That's not what males do. And Tambra says, well, that should have been your first red flag right there. But Marie was like, well, listen to me now. Listen to me now. If we supposed to be friends, that should be something that I should know about. What kind of entitlement BS? What the hell are you talking about? She ain't got to tell you that BS. She don't have to tell you that, even if you guys were friends, which clearly you guys are more co-workers than friends. She does not have to tell you that. And based on the way she was describing it, it was so traumatizing to her. Maybe it's something she didn't want to bring up. And this is what I'm saying, Marie, just be a woman and apologize. And be honest about the real reason why you did this. My opinion is the real reason why she came for Tambra is because of the fact that she felt like Tambra wasn't bringing nothing to the show, that she was fake and she was always hiding her life and all of this stuff. And she wasn't really putting in the work like Marie and other girls are putting in the work about their personal life. I think that was the case. And so she decided to stir up some shit because she felt like Tambra was so secretive. She wanted to stir up some stuff to put Tambra in the hot seat. That's what I think. That's exactly what I think. And instead of her admitting that she's wrong, she trying to act like she's entitled because she feels like they was friends. She should know that information. No, she don't have to know that. Does she know everything about you? Does she know everything about you and your ex-husband? It's none of your business. It's none of your business. But unfortunately, the rest of their conversation is off camera. So we don't even get to see if Marie apologized to her. And in my opinion, she needs to apologize to her on camera. Period. Period. No excuses. That's what she needs to do. So, but see, the thing is, I don't even necessarily know at one point they were enemies. I just feel like even if you feel like that person is your friend, as a friend, that don't mean you need to know everything about my personal life. It doesn't. It has, like, Marie is just making excuses on why she did what she did. In my opinion, she did it because she said this girl is riding the wave of this show. She don't bring nothing personal about her life. She just sits there, plays dress up with her wigs and everything else, and she just is collecting a check. She needs to be exposed like the rest of us are exposing this, ourselves. I think that's what it was. I really do. But Marie don't want to admit that. She don't want to admit that because that would make her look messy. But this is what I'm saying. I respect honest messiness. I respect the 110 toes down messy. I respect it. Yeah, I was being messy. Ho, you ain't bringing nothing to the table. So yeah, I put your stuff out there. Now what? I respect it. But this whole, if I'm your friend, listen to me now. If I'm your friend, that should be something I should know. No. And then remember at the reunion, she said that Tamra should have told them she was pregnant because I feel like you put my life in danger. Girl, Marie, shut the hell up. Just shut up. Hey, Cassandra, happy December. Serious, for real. That's exactly what it was. And y'all let me know, do you think that's the case? Because let's be clear, before the baby storyline, Tambra wasn't bringing anything to the show. She wasn't. She was just kind of like an extra having scenes with people here and there, but she brought really nothing to the show. She would be behind the scenes messy, and times when she was actually called out, she would bang on a couple of tables here and there. But other than that, there's nothing going on in her personal life. We didn't care. So yeah, I feel like that's why Marie did that. But Marie, missy with that BS and your excuses, because that was just so crazy and unnecessary. But moving on. Child, JJ's ass go to the barbershop to, I suppose, get a little edge up on them ponytails. He should have trimmed that damn beard. I don't know why. I was like, there wasn't even any hair back there. Get the beard. But apparently this is Zay. This is Dee's baby daddy, which is So Gucci's daughter, okay? Cute little boy. I don't know how old he is. I shouldn't call him a boy, but he's probably like young. Cute little boy. And apparently he got his own barbershop. So, hey, It is what it is. So this is supposed to be the man's time playing pool at the barbershop. And of course, Willie walks in. I tell y'all, when it comes to manhood, I am Willie and JJ all day. Yes, JJ is a caricature. He talks a lot, them damn ponytails and that guard darn it. But at the end of the day, I feel like he understands manhood way better than Glenn and Cliff. Okay, he definitely is the provider, the protector, and at the end of the day, he don't get offended by typical man shit when they clowning each other. Like, he just come back with it. I like the vibe of Willie and JJ together. They are absolutely, thank you, Miz. They are absolutely hilarious. Let me see what you guys are saying. I'm tired of Marie and her Tanya Hardy ice fake confessional looks. I wish the barber would have sneezed and cut that ponytail off for real. All of them at the same time. I wonder why would Marie believe everything this man said off of one conversation when she could have came to Tamara and asked her the story before meeting a random man? Because she wanted to do that because she wanted to be messy and put her shit out there. Literally. Like, that's exactly what it was. There is no other rational reason besides that she wanted to put her out there. She did. There's no other way. There's no other way. You know what I mean? They are hilarious. Sean, really? Look, that's your opinion. That's your opinion, but we gonna get into that. But with that being said, Cliff walks his butterball ass in a damn pink sweatsuit, and Glenn with this bright ass orange shirt. And they're playing pool, but literally at that point, JJ starts talking to Glenn about how, Zay and D are going through it just like Glenn and Letitia. And Glenn's like, not no more. Like, we solid over there. But then they talk about how he, I guess, is saying he's no longer working. It's like, oh, you trying to rap? You trying to produce? Like, what the hell you trying to do? And so that's when Glenn gets in his emotions. Yes, he does. And he says, I feel like you made a mockery of my rap, Willie, my rap to my freaking wife. And Willie was like, don't allow my opinion to knock down your dreams or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, you sensitive ass Glenn. First of all, look, Willie was just giving the facial expression and the comments that we was all damn thinking. That rap was damn horrible. That rap was like 1987 type of rapping. Like, give it up. Give it up. Hell, we talk about all of these people who have so-called music aspirations or whatever on these damn shows, and most of them suck. So let's stop the nonsense. So when it all boils down to it, I laughed when Willie made the same facial expression that I was making. Willie was just pretty much speaking for the damn world at that point. And he was just like, look, man, like, look, the rap I could have did without. Like, it is what it is. But to me, that's typical man shit. Men clown each other. That's that locker room clowning. You either sit up there and you clown back, but don't get into your feelings like a damn female. But with that being said, next thing you know, here come freaking green-eyed bandit freaking Cliff. And Cliff is up there talking about, he chimes in because, he got to protect Glenn at all costs. And he said that Willie was acting like a woman. Baby, that's all it took. Willie said, what? Ain't no bitch in me. Ain't no bitch in my blood. He said, you over here looking like a damn house mom and all pink. Who he clowned him? He said, you up here looking like a house mom and all pink. He said, let's go time to pick up the kids, mama. Like, what the hell are you talking about? And so JJ is laughing, but he was like, look, y'all, how about we do a podcast together? And Cliff was like, nah, I ain't trying to do no podcast. I ain't trying to do no podcast. I ain't vibing with y'all. And Glenn is like, I don't like you, Willie. And Willie like, man, you love me. Like, shut the hell up. Now, this is where I almost choked on my damn teeth. Okay, because you see Cliff, because they got to sit up there and put his freaking captions on the damn TV screen or whatever, because you can't understand what the hell he's saying. He sits up there and says that he feels like Willie has always had an issue with him or whatever and whatever the case may be. He's always had a problem with him, and that Akeisha is jealous of Latrice. And I said, pump the brakes. What the F did I just hear? Did I just hear him say that Akeisha is jealous of Latrice? How, sir? And see, this is what I'm talking about with both of their insecure asses, Latrice and Cliff. They always swear up and down somebody is jealous of them. Ain't nobody jealous of y'all insecure mofos. Akeisha is a very secure woman, a very successful woman in her own right. Akeisha is beautiful, and Akeisha probably got a good 15 at least plus years on Latrice. She's a beautiful woman, got 2 kids, her husband holding her husband down. They seem very secure in their relationship, unlike Latrice and Cliff. What the hell does Akeisha have? She has no reason to be jealous of Latrice. If anything, she pity her ass. And see, but what is so crazy is he don't have that type of mouth in front of them. He's very slick with it and he keeps it moving. But at the end of the day, he does not have that mouth. He wouldn't dare say, your wife is jealous of my wife in front of Willie. He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it, but he does it in a confessional. And talking about some Willie acting like a Belle. No, you act like a Belle. Glenn act like a Belle. And we see that more and more at the end of this episode with Glenn trying to talk you into talking to his wife for him. If that's not Belle behavior, I don't know what is. See, the reason why Glenn and freaking Cliff don't like Willie and JJ, because Willie and JJ can snap back with it. They quick with it. They real quick with it, like men in locker rooms. They will come back in it, and instead of them laughing at all, they get emotional. They get in their feelings. So at that point, they both walk out like, oh, well, we ain't got time to deal with this. We don't like y'all. We out. And JJ like, wait a minute. Y'all ain't gonna do the podcast. Y'all ain't gonna do the podcast. Like, get the hell up out of here. Nah, Cliff mad because Akeisha called him out about the abuse. Okay, but here's the thing. Then, if that's the case, be a man and say that. But don't try to make it seem like Akeisha is jealous of Latrice. See, that to me is a punk ass move. If that's what your real gripe is, then say that. I got an issue with Akeisha trying to allege those type of allegations against me. But no, you want to sit up there and stir the pot like females do and try to say, your wife is jealous. Your wife is jealous of my wife. I can almost guarantee you there is not one person who is jealous of Latrice on this show. Even Marie. They're not jealous of her. They're really not. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, get the hell up out of here. Hell yeah. People was concerned about Latrice. That first episode last season, when he came to that bar and he was up there like, cameras, get the mics off or whatever, and he was screaming at her, we was all looking like, what the hell is going on in that relationship? Like, what is going on in that relationship? So when he said that, I said, jealous, get the F up out of here. Get the hell up out of here with that freaking nonsense. Ain't nobody got time for that. Y'all hit the like button on the way in. Hit the like button and say hello. Say hello. Definitely, come in the comments and give your opinions on everything. And you already know who probably is responsible for that. I like Josh. I liked Josh. And you could tell that Josh was truly hurt. And I think he realized at that point, and he realized last season, Latrice is not a friend to him. Latrice is a convenience. Latrice is a friend based off of her convenience. And if it's not convenient for her, she's not your friend. And I think he learned that very loud and clear last season. Because you could tell with him crying, he was really hurt. He was really hurt. And I wish Josh was back. I like Josh. That was dumb of him to even say that, for real. Like, seriously, he can't even fake it for the camera. Who can't fake it for the camera? Be specific, Sean, on who he is, because we got a lot of he's we talking about right now. Plus, he was calling Cliff out for his BS ways. Right. Yes, because you remember that. last season, they had that man-to-man talk after that whole stripper scandal, and Willie and JJ got in his ass and said, can't no freaking anybody, especially no man, come to me about my wife. And they pretty much told Glenn, you need to pick your friends better, because that man should have never called you in the middle of the night trying to start some mess between you and your freaking wife. That is some female behavior. I don't care, child. I don't care. That's the type of man, like, I would rather be single than to deal with a freaking fool like that. Oh, he can't even fake it for the camera. Cliff, he now fake what? That he really is a bitter, trifling, insecure man. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. But yeah, I was literally about to choke on my tea. I said, did he just say Akeisha is jealous of Latrice? And let's be clear, we have seen Akeisha so many times without makeup on. Latrice, I think have maybe seen her one time without makeup on, and we can clearly see why she don't sit up there and not have the wig and the makeup and everything else. She has only had it one time. Every other scene, she is full blown weave, wig, lashes, makeup. I mean, heavy layered makeup. Akeisha can literally, with moles and all, be free of the makeup, no weave, and still be beautiful. Still be beautiful. She ain't got no reason to be jealous. You could definitely tell her relationship with her man is solid as hell. I love Willie and Akeisha's relationship from what we see on this show. They seem solid. They got it together. They seem like they're best friends before anything else. They really do. I mess with them. They definitely seem like a solid couple. Yeah, short circuit indeed. Short circuit indeed. Because she looks like her brother twin without makeup. I'm sorry, I said it and I'll take it back. Remember last season when she showed her face without makeup, or at least not as much makeup? I said, Harpo, who is this woman? I didn't even know that was Latrice. I didn't even know that was her. I said, damn. I said, now that's interesting. Now, one thing about Akeisha, whether she got makeup on or makeup off, we know that's Akeisha. Makeup is supposed to enhance your beauty, not make it, okay? If I don't know who you are when your makeup is off, that is an issue. It's an issue. But when he said that, I said, boy, please. Like, I hope they play that at the reunion. And I hope Akeisha tears them a new one. For real. Or not. She's still, exactly. She is. Akeisha's a beautiful woman. He does love her. He does love her. And they have a strong bond. You can tell. I would love to know how they met, but you can tell it seems like they had a solid foundation of friendship before it went that way. They really set the foundation. It seems like it. But yeah, so moving on, child. Speaking of this shitty ass half of this damn relationship. Latrice is at some event to promote voting, blah, blah, blah. This was a boring scene. Tambra and Selena come, and this scene was pointless. They talk about Antoinette acting a fool and Marie. But we find out that most of the conversation again with Marie was off camera. But at that point, they talk about the New Orleans trip, and Latrice talks about her relationship again with Cliff, or lack thereof, and the stupid BS behind their relationship, and how they stressed out about all of these businesses they started, and she having crying spells. And I'm like, child, something tells me you've been having crying spells before you said I do when it came to Cliff. These crying spells ain't started because of this damn restaurant and your business. You've been having crying spells. You probably cry yourself to sleep at night. But anywho, with that being said, she says she's going on a trip. It's a much needed trip, or whatever the case may be. And so moving on, we have this shady ass Short Circuit did better than what I thought she did during her speech. I'm sure after Letitia went in on her about needing to take a drink before she spoke the last time at an event, she polished up how she, needs to carry herself at events. I'm sorry, Selena, the Mississippi Beyonce with a Medea print shirt on took me out. I don't know why they call her Mississippi Beyonce, child. I'm sorry, y'all, but Selena is not giving nothing. Yeah, I don't. And Nadine, shout out to Nadine, crew member. She also said the same thing, and she's been watching Selena since Bring It. She said she don't understand what she brings to the show. I think they're grasping for straws at this point. But Letitia's shady ass, she's at home now. Sidebar. I think Letitia looks better with darker hair. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. I think she looks way better with darker hair than that straight bleach blonde shit that she constantly puts on her head. But with that being said, Glenn and her are talking and they're talking about the New Orleans trip. And Glenn is like, is Marie coming? Ain't the trip just supposed to be for couples? Like, unless she bring her zzz, it like, isn't it supposed to be for couples? And Letitia's there just grinning, like, don't talk about my friend like that. Letitia, you are not a friend to Marie. And in my opinion, you ain't a friend to any of these women, which is why that crying earlier was just so fake. Because my thing is, if your husband feels comfortable talking about Marie like that, especially on camera, that's because Letitia more than likely has talked shit about Marie to Glenn. So to me, that scene right there should tell Marie everything. Like that pillow talking is a mofo, but the pillow talking should stay with the couples, not with you having these damn conversations in front of the cameras or it literally getting back to Marie. But to me, that moment told me, oh, you talk shit about Marie. You talk shit about all them girls to Glenn, probably. And I'm like, again, sitting up there trying to keep talking about how this woman don't have a man. So the hell what? Some of y'all in miserable ass relationships, and she probably better off and much happier than half of the people on this damn show. So with that being said, Marie comes over and we find out that Marie's house got sprayed up. Now look here. I don't know what to make of this story, y'all. It seems strange as hell. It really does, especially when we find out later on. Tambra says she does live in a good neighborhood and also lives in a gated community. So we actually see footage of these two guys, literally, I guess, apparently in front of Marie's house. You hear it and they're running away. So it looks like that these two guys specifically targeted her house. Now, one thing about it, I totally forgot that if I'm not mistaken, her son's baby mama, wasn't she unalive due to something like that? Like, I don't know if it happened in a house, but I do believe one of the baby mamas is unalived because of something like that. Something with, the steel or something, DV, something like that. But with that, she, was saying, if she was home, if a child was home, if a mama was there, but nobody was home. And she said at this point, she ain't trying to move back there. She ain't trying to go back there. And I don't blame her. But something ain't right here because I really don't think Marie is involved in something and someone hates her that much to do that type of stuff to her. But it makes me wonder if her son or somebody, one of her sons is involved in something. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something shady as hell going on. And that's a good point too, Sean. Does her mom? You know what I'm saying? Does her mom owe somebody? Because that is just crazy. And clearly to be in that gated community, and she has a huge house. They purposely targeted that house. And I think they wanted us to show like the footage, like they wanted us to see the footage to show that this was actually legit. The odds of this happening though while they were filming is freaking insane, unless they reenacted all of this for filming. But it's insane. It is truly insane. But I got a lot of questions. I feel bad, but I want to know. I do too. I'm nosy like that because it seems like there's more to the story. Did she contact the cops? What did she say? Thank you. It just seems off to me.
I didn't understand the point in talking about something like that on camera. Yeah, unless they were reenacting that. Because, sometimes things can happen when they're not filming and the producers want you to talk about it on camera. She says she asked everybody, especially her mammy, yeah, something ain't right. Yeah, I thought so. The baby mama, she was in like, yeah, it was something like that. So I'm like, is her son involved in something? It is strange. I tried to Google it and didn't find a story about that. Interesting. And hi, Lauren, are you new? Yeah. Now, I don't want to assume somebody is lying about that, but it does seem strange as hell. But then at the same time, it's not like the Belle Collective is like a Bravo TV type of show. They don't get the traction or the attraction of like Bravo shows. They're not like a Real Housewife of Atlanta or Married to Medicine. They're not in like a major city. I truly believe if they were on like a more, like Bravo or like an actual channel that has more attention and more celebrity, then I think that they would probably have it in the news. But this is Jackson. I don't necessarily know. I don't know, but it does seem where you are new. Welcome, Lauren. You guys welcome Lauren to the crew. Okay, I don't feel about wanting to know more. Yeah, it just seems weird. Did they catch the guys? I know it should be cameras. There we got a lot of questions. And I guess maybe they're gonna wait till the reunion child to talk about it. But we still got a lot of questions. But the way that Carlos King does his shows, I'm like, are you gonna go to like almost the last episode and then wait 2 months to give us the episode in the reunion? Kind of like Love and Marriage Detroit. We still haven't seen the last episode of Love and Marriage Detroit or the reunion. I don't know why they keep like having beats in these shows like that, but I find it to be stupid as hell. Yeah, I would say like, D-list, C-list type of show to where I don't necessarily know. And it's not in a major city either. Like I know Jackson is a city, but it's not that popular. So I don't know though, y'all. I mean, prayers to her, but it sounds crazy. It sounds crazy. Well, what happened to her. But of course, Letitia fake ass, Glenn fake ass, they, I'm saying, like, give her some fruit and said, if you need to stay here or whatever the case may be, we here for you. And I'm like, wasn't you just talking shit about her? Weren't you just talking shit about her? About why she coming because she ain't got no man? Like, come on now. Come on now. Like nowadays, they make articles about everything. Trust if you dig in it. That is true. Although there was that one actual, I did a video on this girl who took matters into her own hands about her daughter. She found a tape of her daughter, underage daughter, and it was some SA stuff going on. And she took the law into her own hands. And apparently, people was Googling that and they said they really couldn't find that much information on that. And that was based out of the Atlanta area. So yeah. Oh, okay. You 313. Up. What up though? There go Miz. Detroit. So yeah. So definitely, I don't know, but prayers to them in that situation. But it does seem a little weird if you ask me. And at this point, yes, it would be better for her to move. But my thing is, if it's something that involves her mama or her son, they gonna find out where she live again. Like, so unless she moved to a condo that has like high security and a doorman and everything else, where's she gonna go? If, as far as I see it, she need to get down to the bottom of it to see who these people are so she can get this resolved, or they can at least be in jail. But child, so moving on. So this scene was definitely a really good scene. Like, you can run, but you can't hide, Eddie. Marie's life sounds like a hood movie. How successful, all while dealing with a sickness. Yeah, and yeah, that is true. It do sound like one of them freaking hood books, hood freaking movies. You right about that. It's her son. Her son was in college. I remember I believe the first season. I think her son was in college. he wanted to go back where he was going. Like, I guess he was like out of town or not close to where she lived, and he wanted to go back to college there. And Marie said, no, you have several kids. I'm taking care of them. You need to be closer to home and take care of your kids. And apparently he flipped out on her. Apparently that's what happened. But I don't know what has happened since then. I don't think we've seen the son on the show since then either. So who knows? But going to So Gucci talking to her daughter D. To me, D was the highlight of this show. I love these moments, you know what I'm saying, with her. Now, I know some thought it was wrong for So Gucci to bring up D's, problems or whatever the case may be. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, D did do a very long live, talking about all the drama with her mama, with, you know what I'm saying, JJ's girls. And I think she even mentioned her own struggles. So I'm sure this was a conversation that they had before it was brought up on national television. I'm sure of it. But literally D, and I don't know how long, for those who have kids in the chat or in the comment section, replay gang, how long can postpartum happen? Because her child looks about 2 or 3, maybe 2 years old. Do you think it's postpartum for her? I mean, I know that she definitely has had her issues with her mother even before that, but I'm wondering if it was postpartum for her. She maybe is going through postpartum. Um, yeah, it did. Okay, so her some women experience postpartum for up to 5 years. So it's possible. It's possible. It makes me wonder if she has actually gone to get that checked up. But apparently D was in counseling and she didn't finish it. And so Gucci was like, you didn't finish counseling. And she felt like counseling wasn't helping. So, D is saying she felt lost. And she definitely has mentioned she felt neglected by her mom. She definitely was crying. I felt for her, and I do feel like, these are the type of conversations that women, but especially Black women, because we are the most disrespected and neglected out there. I am a Black woman, and trust, we go through a lot. We go through a lot with our own men. We go through a lot in society. So I definitely love this conversation, but she did say she feels so lost. She don't understand what God is trying to tell her, or whatever the case may be. But they said, we got to get you into therapy. We got to make this happen, because we don't want anything to happen to you. You scared me with the call when you told me that you love me, and next thing you know, you took Ari to my stepmom's house, and I don't know where you were. Like, that scared the hell out of me. We got to get you some help. And so at that point, she mentions that she wants Ari's birthday party to be at the house. Hi, Dr. Londi. It varies. Mine was for a month. Okay. Hi, Dr. Londi. Are you new? And are you an actual doctor? Like, let me know what your specialty is. But welcome, welcome. Yes, I was glad this issue was given a exactly, exactly. Now, some people, and I think because they just don't like So Gucci, they was like, how dare So Gucci bring this up? I'm sure she had a conversation with her daughter about this. I'm sure. She didn't want to trigger her daughter. But to me, it was an important conversation to have. We need to have these talks. Hey, Vanessa. Yes, welcome, Dr. Lonnie. I think you're new, Dr. Lonnie. I've never seen you before, so welcome. So, she's like, yeah, I want to have the party. And so Gucci's like, well, Star is going to be there. And, I know that you and Star, out of all the girls, were kind of the closest out of the bunch. And so, Dee was just like, look, I'll talk to them on my own time. But so Gucci says she feels it's her responsibility to bring JJ and the girls together. And JJ say, look, God darn it, look, I will do this on my own time. Heifer, leave me alone about this nonsense. And even D was like, I feel like it's too soon. Like, I feel like it'll happen when it happened. Even if it was done now, it wouldn't be genuine. But I'll say this, Star, to me, seems like that girl to me. I think she knows how both of her parents are. I think she knows how Selena is. I think she knows how JJ is. And she like, keep me out of this bullshit. Like, I'm cool with both of y'all. I love both of y'all. I'm cool with So Gucci. I am not about to choose sides. I think that Star is the most level-headed one out of the bunch. Because if she truly felt like that one side was on more bullshit than the other side, I think she would choose a side. I think she's not choosing a side because I think she knows. I think she knows that both of them be on some bullshit. I think she knows that. Hello, yes, I've been watching from the bushes. I have okay, excellent. Congratulations, Dr. Lottie, honey. You got a PhD and you are a black woman, honey. I know that is not easy. I was thinking about getting my PhD and I said, hell no. Like, how many years more I gotta be in school? Absolutely not. So congrats to you, my sister. Absolutely. In education too, we need more black women in education. So congrats to you. Kudos and welcome to the crew. So Gucci needs to acknowledge her feelings of abandonment. She does. Now, has she? And they're working on it, maybe, but she definitely does. It had to be because they don't like So Gucci. This was so needed. Yeah, you got some people who are team Selena and they just hate So Gucci. Mind you, though, before Selena came on the show, didn't nobody they weren't anti So Gucci. Now all of a sudden they anti So Gucci, but I guess. So with that being said, she said it was too soon or whatever the case may be, but I feel like Star is that girl who, if someone really sat down and talked to her, you would get the nitty gritty on all sides. You would get, that's the country thing, the nitty gritty. You will really get all sides of. I think she has seen it from every perspective. And that's why she said, keep my ass up out of this. And I ain't got nothing to deal with. I ain't got time to deal with this stuff. Yes, hit the like on the way in. So yeah, so I definitely love this scene. I really do. And so next we have Willie and JJ's podcast, okay? And they bring their wives. And I love this scene, y'all. I love this scene. I truly think they need to have the podcast more with the wives. This was such a nice scene. And again, I don't think Willie feels like he's better than the other guys. I do feel like he has a high standard of excellence, just like his wife, Aikisha. And as country as JJ is, and his guard darn it, this, and that, he's about a high standard too. He's the one who brought them to this studio, okay, which was a nice setup. And even Willie said, this is a nice studio, my brother. I think he's about, if it's good, it's good. I'm gonna give you your props, but if it's shit, it's shit. And of course, some of the sensitive souls on this show don't like that. But Aikisha nor Willie have given me vibes that they think that they're better. They may throw shade just like every other person, but I mean, throw shade back. If you know what I'm saying, if they give it back to them. The problem is, ain't a lot of them don't know how to give it back, so then they just get in their feelings. But I don't get that vibe. I do not get that vibe that Willie thinks that he's better. I don't. Now I know the big issue with Aikisha when she first came on is, I guess apparently she made a comment that there was ugly girls on the show. Now I don't necessarily. I think she did admit that she said something like that or whatever the case may be. I'm sure a lot of people had issues with that, with the whole colorism or whatever the case. I don't know, but I don't give vibes that they think that they're better. I do feel like they come from a certain standard, and that's just what it is. That's just what it is. But this scene was quite hilarious. They was talk about how they are on a Punani protest and how the wives need to sit up there and give them some loving or whatever the case may be. And so Gucci was like, well, what do you feel is acceptable? And JJ was like, I need it 4 times a week. I need it 4 times a week. And she said 4 times. She said, let me tell you something. If you want it 4 times a week, you gonna be missing out on some dinner. And JJ said, I'll do takeout every night if I can get it 4 times a week. And Willie was like, well, Aikisha only give me 2 times a week. And he was like, but Aikisha don't cook any damn ways. And Aikisha said, excuse me. And he was like, huh, what, huh? She's like, excuse me, you eat every damn night. That was so cute to me. But I love that. I definitely feel like they need to do more podcasts, which I don't know if I've seen this before, where you have like couples like this doing a podcast. I think it's definitely it was cute. I really do. But they talk about the Belle boys and how Glenn looked like he was dressed for a bake sale. I mean, Clifford looked like he was dressed for a bake sale, and he was calling Clifford, Auntie Clifford. I'm sorry. I was laughing. See, that type of stuff to me, it's just normal guy behavior. It's harmless. It's, I don't know. Like, to me, those are the type of men I've dated in the past. They clown. They clown. They funny. Like, you think it's cute or whatever the case may be, but they talk about that. I was laughing when he said he looked like he was dressed for a bake sale, and I was calling him Auntie Clifford. Baby, I was falling out. It was a cute scene. I liked it. I forget. I think construction or, oh yeah, I think it's construction. It's construction. Whatever it is, homeboy got his whole house gated with his freaking logo on the damn gate. That's for sure. So he definitely doing something successful. That is for sure. Um, okay, I cannot post that, Sean. You got an asterisk. You cannot do the whole word because they will literally, like, they will flag it. So I see what you're saying. You said it's not that important to you. For a lot of people, it is. A lot of people, it is. There's a lot of couple podcasts on YouTube where there's a couple of different couples at the same time, not just like the husband and the wife, but like two wives, and three husbands or whatever. Yeah, not just two people. I think it's good to have couples, plural, like this setup with Willie and JJ and So Gucci and Aikisha, and they bouncing off of each other. I think that's dope. So I really think that they need to bring the ladies on more often. I do feel like it's still a safe space for Willie and JJ. I think more heterosexual men need to have, you know what I'm saying, their talks about marriage and their gripes as far as their wives and the kids and stuff. I still think that's needed, but I think this was also, it's much needed as well. All four of their personalities mesh well today. They do mesh well together. And again, Willie talked mess about JJ being country as hell when he first met him. And what did JJ do? Laughed it off like a man and came back on his ass and came back on him. You know what I'm saying? That's what men do. He didn't take it personal and say, I don't like you and you making a mockery out of me. Man, shut the hell up. Just shut up. So moving on. So can we just appreciate the damn ribs? Can we appreciate the ribs, baby? I am a meat lover. Sorry for y'all vegans and vegetarians out there. I don't mean no harm, but baby, give me some good ribs, give me some good turkey legs, give me some good chicken. Baby, I had to appreciate this moment right here to where I had to take a picture. Okay, definitely. So this is at Ari's birthday party. Such a cute little girl. She looked just like her mama. She don't look nothing like a daddy to me. She looked just like a mama. And so it's Ari's birthday party, and she's just such a cutie. And Star comes with her son, EJ. She is there to, pretty much enjoy the birthday party. It was so cute when the babies talked to each other or whatever the case may be. It seemed like it was a nice little event. And so Gucci invited Tambra, Marie, and Letitia. She invited Aikisha too, but Aikisha's niece, I think, was graduating that day. And she said she may come later. So they have a girlfriend heart-to-heart talk about a mixture of everything from the mammogram to pretty much the main thing that I want to talk about, which is D. And we talk about the big back and me wanted some of that food. Not gonna lie, the big back and me wanted the same thing, Joseph. We gonna be big backs together, cause baby, all of that, the meatballs, all of that. I said, baby, I just need to just come through that screen and get me a plate. So did he talk to her about what? Talk to her about what? You forget about JJ slinging his ponytail when Cliff and Mississippi Bootsy walked out the barbershop. You not a big back at all, Miz, and you look amazing to have multiple kids, because honey, you ain't got an ounce of fat on you. But yeah, so pretty much they had a talk, but the main thing was So Gucci talking about D wanting to unalive herself. They found her at a bridge, y'all, a bridge. Very, very scary. And she turned her phone off. But when they got the police involved, the police was able to locate her. That, whew, I had to take a moment when I heard that. I said, oh my God, like I can't even imagine your baby, or anyone you love, turn their phone off, you call the police, and just within seconds, it could have been a disaster. It really could have been a disaster. But they talk, and at this point, yes, Cassandra, yes, it was deep. It was deep, which is why I appreciated this. If it wasn't for these scenes, this would have been a D episode or an F episode. These scenes were definitely the scenes for me. And so one thing that they were talking about was, well, so Gucci, we gotta understand why she keeps blaming you. Why does she keep blaming you? And so Gucci was also saying, and she admits that when her and JJ were together, like started together, her and Selena did it all wrong. And JJ and her were too wrapped up in themselves, and they didn't think about the kids. So she pretty much admitted that they pretty much effed up, and they should have met each other she should have met Selena the right way. Again, too many damn egos, narcissistic energy, and all of they asses. Because to me, in this moment, somebody should have been a bigger person and said, we need to do this for the kids. So as far as I see it, all of this stuff that has blown up is due to the fact that you had these three grown ass people and nobody was willing to sit down and say, we need to talk, and we need to talk now. This is like insane to me. And you cannot be all about you when y'all got kids. Period. Period. So it was interesting that JJ said that the girls was begging for their mama's love, and so Gucci stepped up to the plate. It seemed to me sounds like there could have been neglect on both sides. It sounds like it could have been neglect on both sides. So yes, definitely emotional. Did JJ talk to Star and anything? I missed the whole scene of the part. At least no. I didn't see it. And it wasn't there. So I don't know if he actually spoke to her. I don't think he wants to speak to them on camera. I really don't. I think he does not want to speak to them on camera. That's what my heart is telling me. He don't want it on camera. Very scary. That scene made me emotional because dealing with depression, it gets overwhelming. Exactly. This is why we needed these scenes. And hi, is it V baby 88? Hello, welcome. Are you new? And look, let me tell you something. We, as especially as Black women, we go through depression a lot. I think a lot of times we don't even know that we're depressed. We're just getting by and don't even know. You see what I'm saying? We don't even know. So I'm praying for you, V baby. Trust and believe. I've been there before. I think a lot of Black women go through depression and anxiety, don't realize it, or they don't have the means to seek help. Just know that at the end of the day, you have people who care about you. Anybody who's listening to this, it gets better. You have your ups and downs, but it gets better. And definitely, you are not alone. You are not alone. This is why I'm saying these type of scenes are so important. So important. So I hope things get better for you. I really do. I know life is tough. Yes, absolutely. I'm praying for you. This is years of trauma coming up. Yeah. Yeah. On top of that, she may be dealing with postpartum too. You are a new watcher. Welcome to the crew. Welcome to the crew. I think most of us in the chat have battled depression. I think so too. Sometimes we don't even know it though. You know what I'm saying? Because let's be clear, a lot don't have the insurance to get clinically diagnosed, or, you know what I'm saying, they don't realize what's going on. It's a lot of that in our community. A lot of that in our community. And unfortunately, we do have a lot of fellow Black women who would rather just, not help and talk shit or whatever the case may be. Now, granted, I talk shit about how these people act on the show, but at the end of the day, like, I feel if we embraced each other more and had these moments where we appreciate these type of scenes and embraced what we're seeing on these shows, if we saw more of this and we encourage more of this, we will get more shows like this, or at least more scenes like this, because we want it and we are willing to see it more versus just all of the drama. Yes, ma'am. We stand together. Absolutely. Mine was caused by dating someone with NPD for 4 years. Oh, wow. Yeah, we go through a lot, and sometimes we don't even realize we going through it. So my thing is, though, definitely, I think all of these grown people are wrong. They're wrong. Selena's wrong. So Gucci's wrong. JJ is wrong. I really do. There's no way you're gonna be able to. Now, I appreciate the fact that So Gucci feels like she just wants to air out all of her grievances and admit her wrongs. I am so happy that she's doing that. Now, are we gonna get that from Selena? I don't know. As of right now, she don't give me vibes that she will ever admit what she does wrong. It's always everyone else. But maybe she will. But there's no way you're going to convince me that Selena didn't do anything wrong in this. Because let me make this very clear. Let's just say I have kids and my ex ends up remarrying, and that woman does not approach me for whatever reason. It could be intimidation, it could be things that JJ may have been saying, it could have been the fact that you are the Mississippi famous girl from Bring It and she didn't really know how to approach you. As a woman and the mother of those kids, that'll be the moment that I sit down with her and say, you know what, I I definitely need to speak to you because you're going to be around my kids and we need to have an understanding. So let's go out to brunch. Let's go out and we can actually talk. There's something there, and this lack of communication and stuff is all three of them. All three of them are wrong. All of them are. Battle with depression for 4 years in high school. Luckily was diagnosed and medicated and overcame it. Amen to that, Lauren. You know that my son tried to unalive himself after a classmate unalived herself. My son found health is thriving. Oh man. I know that had to be a rough time. Is my son found a great mental health specialist and thriving. Stupid speaking to amen to that. You can overcome it. You can overcome it, but you first got to admit that something doesn't feel right. Something is going on. You're having highs and lows. You got to get to that point to admit that, to seek out help. You know, unfortunately, a lot of people don't, and they end up being trolls on the internet and things like that. That's the way that they lash out. They try to get under other people's skin because of how they feel about themselves. But the first step is to admit it. So I'm glad that I am talking to people now who are in the process of overcoming it or have overcome it. So amen to that for sure. So literally at that point, Marie tells So Gucci, you got to get your family back together. Like, I literally almost just lost my life. Someone sprayed up my house. Tomorrow is not promised. Make it right and get it together for the sake of the children. And so Dee walks in at that point, and I love this scene with Marie. This is where Marie truly thrives, as far as, you know, her human side of her, where she was just like, I just want to hug you and let you know that I am here to support you. And sometimes family is not what you need, but I'm here for you. I don't care what time it is. If you need to speak to me, you can call me. She was like, I am here for you and I'm always going to be here for you. And I love that. I love, this is the side of Marie that I love, because that is her specialty. She is really trying to help people out there overcome their addiction issues, mental issues. That's where she thrives. And so I love this scene. I love this side of Marie. It was definitely that moment we needed for her. That's what I said. Yeah, exactly. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. And Dee, you know, said that she is getting better. She has a relationship with God. But yeah, I loved it. I definitely love that scene. So kudos to them for this scene. It was much needed because I get tired of the petty dragon BS over and over again. Yes, it gives that rich auntie love. Absolutely. It absolutely does. So, child, make sure you hit the like button. Hit the like button. Letitia is getting the New Orleans trip together. She's apparently talking to a caterer, and next thing you know, she gets a surprise visit from Cliff. I don't know the timeline, but when Googling the story, I found a story that something similar happened with Marie. Really? Lauren, are you on IG? It's my same name, D Chris Nicole. Send me a DM if you found it. It looks like, though, based off of the screenshot, that happened based on, let's go back to it, because the date is here. The date on there looks like it was April 25th, 2024. So apparently it happened around April. April of 2024 is when this apparently happened. So with that, back to this fool. They never have fun on this show. Yeah, it's always petty, but at least we had some balance. We had some balance this time. Um, I'm praying for Dee and hope she's doing well. I'm praying for her too. I need Letitia to get a prayer cloth. She always looks so stuffed in her clothes. I don't understand it, but she looks so stuffed in her clothes. So stuffed. I understand why you think Cliff and Mississippi Bootsy are weird. Yeah, they are. That to me, they don't give man energy. They do not. They do not give man energy. They so insecure in themselves, which is quite interesting. But he ends up coming. And baby, if y'all didn't think this was Belle energy, I don't know what the hell was. He sits down and Letitia like, what you doing here? Because I know Glenn don't know you here. Do Letitia know you? I mean, do Latrice know you here? He's like, nah. I'm just saying, I'm here because Glenn wanted me to come. If you have any questions, you can ask me. Glenn sent me. I wish my man would tell another man to come talk to me. Excuse me? What do you mean if I have any questions? Well, if I have any questions, I should ask my man. And my man should be a man and literally be able to answer those questions. Then we see a scene where Glenn talking about some man, I need you to talk to my wife. What kind of bellboy behavior is this? Where they teach y'all that at? Where that's acceptable? You have another man go talk to your wife. And he actually does it. And so at that point, I'm just like, are you freaking kidding me? And so she looking like, okay, so I guess you his spokesperson. And she said, look, I was just caught off guard. He was very selfish. That man makes good money. He has good insurance for him to do this. Well, you know. And Cliff started running his mouth. Well, he a go-getter. He ain't about to leave y'all stranded. Like, I know y'all like money and whatever case it be, y'all like the security of it. But I'm just letting he got things under control. He got things under control. And so Letitia like, well, what the hell has he told you? Like, how long have you known he quit his job? Well, he just kind of told me. And at this point, this dumbass is realizing that Letitia don't know half of the stuff that Glenn is saying, that Cliff is saying out of his mouth. And so at that point, I guess that's when he realized, oh, well, I guess Glenn ain't really told her everything, and I need to stay out of married people's business. You think? Didn't you learn your lesson with the 12 inches stripper the last time? You didn't learn your lesson then? You keep involving yourself in other people's business when you live in the biggest glass house with your own wife? You live in the biggest glass house. You are the last person to try to help any marriage when you need to help your own. Like, this is freaking insane. He just said that he like, well, I ain't. He set me up. He didn't tell me she didn't know about this stuff. The moment that a grown man tells you, can you please talk to my wife, is the moment that you tell that grown man, no, you talk to your own wife, sir. I got my own problems. I ain't about to get involved in your marriage. Absolutely not. Because they always come for the messenger. You see what I'm saying? So at that point, he started running his mouth and says, well, I'm telling you, everything is set in motion because he done bought the box truck. And Letitia's like, he done bought the box truck? When he bought a box truck? Oh, maybe he did. Maybe he bought the box truck. Maybe he did. You done already opened up your mouth. And didn't he say earlier that Willie exudes Belle behavior? He's a Belle. Willie's a Belle. Willie wouldn't do something like this. Hell, JJ wouldn't do something like this. If anybody's the honorary Belle, it's you, sir. You talk too much. And one thing about, I can't stand a guy who talk too much. Let the women do that. I can't stand it. I don't even like when women talk too much. I'm very guarded, or I'll sometimes let things slip just to see if that woman has diarrhea of the mouth. I don't like, to me, I'm one of those people where if you tell me something personal, it stays with me. If you decide to share it, you decide to share it, but I don't run my mouth. I don't like that type of stuff. And it definitely is just, when it comes from a guy, it just turns me the wrong way. So she finds out that apparently Glenn done bought this box truck and hasn't told her, and then the episode goes off. Child, I can't stand the wig she's tore. That wig looks so dry, and just the whole coloring of it all, it just looks a hot mess. It looks like a freaking dollar store wig. Cassandra said that she has a mortician for Glam Squad. Cliff would have been asked to leave and Glendale would have gotten cussed out for real. Like, just unacceptable. Grandpa Mumbles has a hard time pronouncing words, let alone has the wisdom to give advice. You know it's bad when they got to put a caption when he's talking. Every time he's on literally the screen, there's a caption, and it's not the caption that you put on your own TV. They make a caption for him because half the time people can't understand what the hell he's saying. Yes, Sean, Cliff would have got cussed out too. Exactly. Cliff needs to be in the intro with the cute pantsuit breaking the glass for real and twerking too. Because honestly, this was definitely not man behavior. I think his version is a man is just, he has money and that's it. And that's all he needs. Because everything else about him is truly about him kind of giving off other type of energy. It's not man behavior. He truly feels insecure. Every time he talked to Latrice, he got to scream at her. He talking about he the man up in this mofo. True men don't have to keep screaming at a man. True men exude that. They reek of it. When they walk into the room, they demand that presence. You know you don't demand that presence. People don't even probably know you in the room. That's why you're mad now. Short Circuit should be embarrassed of this man. She is. She was looking for a daddy and ended up marrying a guy with some money who can help her with her businesses. Like, there is no way they ugh. Trust and believe if she could find her man her age who really has everything going for himself. I don't know. Would Latrice leave him? Probably not. Probably not. She probably wouldn't. She probably wouldn't for the sake of she doesn't want people to think that she used him in the first place. Maybe that's it. She would try to sit up there and continue to stay with him, but there's no way you can convince me that she attracted to that man. In my opinion, she ain't attracted to that man. She attracted to the fact that he can provide security, and that's it. Why do Cliff want kids? He has grandkids. He want to slow her down. If you ask me, he want to slow her down. You know what I'm saying? I don't necessarily know if Latrice is mama material, if you ask me, at least not now. Even if she had kids, she would have a nanny or her mama taking care of them kids. But I think he personally wants her to have kids to slow her down. Cliff, no, he don't want no kids. He don't have the patience for Latrice, right? But he wants her to stay at home. That's what I think he wants. He wants her barefoot and pregnant. He don't like the fact that she's that driven. He may like the money aspect of it, but he doesn't like the fact that she's that driven because then there's money also going into her pockets. And when a woman gets to the point where she's comfortable to leave because she financially is secure, she'll leave. But he will prefer for her to be barefoot and pregnant and for him to handle all of the financial obligations and stuff. That's what he prefers, which is probably why he married someone so young in the first place. Let me see. Nope, I couldn't do it. We would have separate rooms and don't talk to me after 5 p.m. Well, apparently, V Baby, if I'm not mistaken, last season, didn't Josh hint to the fact that they were sleeping in separate rooms or they was kind of in their own separate world? And when Josh was talking to her, when she was laying in the room, like on her bed or whatever, he kind of implied that and she kind of got teary-eyed. For all we know, they could be living separate lives in that house, and they just join forces for this show. He want to keep her home playing what coloring books with. Exactly. He will probably be asleep by 4:30. Exactly. Because how old is Cliff? Does anybody know how old Cliff is? Hell, does anybody know how old Latrice is? I don't even know how old he is. I feel like Latrice may be in her late 20s, early 30s. And I feel like he may be in his 50s, definitely old enough to be her daddy. She better pour some NyQuil in his liquor. Just he's so silly. But yeah, definitely he's old enough to be her daddy. He probably got kids the same age as Latrice, if not older. And I think Latrice's mama know that how she was brought up is the reason why she's dealing with this man in the first place. And I think she kind of regrets it. That's why she keeps telling Latrice in her own way, you better do for yourself and you better live for yourself. Because I think she knows this relationship is not a good relationship. I think she knows. Close to 100, halfway to glory. But yeah, so that was the end of the episode, you guys. So we'll see next episode. Apparently, Letitia confronts Glenn in front of everybody about him buying this box truck. I I don't know if it's in New Orleans that the guys get into it, but baby, I am waiting for that scene when Willie pretty much tell Glenn and Cliff to, handle the two pieces between his legs, and at that point it's about to be a fight. I can't wait for that scene. I can't wait for it, and I really want to know if Willie does lose his cool like the way Glenn and Cliff lost their cool. I don't know, something tells me Willie didn't, but because if Willie did lose his cool, we would have saw him hammering their asses on that freaking screen. If Willie was that mad, he could have straight charged like he was back on the football field and handled both of them. So I can't wait for that scene. I have a feeling it happens in New Orleans. But I'm waiting for that. I am waiting for that. I don't necessarily know if I'm waiting for the talk between So Gucci and Selena. I don't feel like everything is going to be aired out. I feel like there's still going to be some BS hitting, but we'll have to see. But we do see that So Gucci said, I'm going to have to talk to you. I'm going to have to go against what my husband says because we need to talk. So Gucci, in my opinion, has definitely been the one to step up and admit her wrongs this season. Now we're waiting on Selena and we're waiting on JJ. But So Gucci has definitely stepped up, and I appreciate that from So Gucci. Are they well? Are they forgetting he used to be a football player? Right. He could take both of them. He could take both of them. I think that conversation is going to be a dud. I think so too. Joseph, I know you were still here, my brother. Never in my life will I let another man convince me to be a mouthpiece for him. Exactly. What, Glenn? You scared Letitia gonna hit up or something like grow up? Thank you. And this is why I say they honorary bells. Even JJ, as much as he talk and be darning this, darning that, JJ wouldn't do no shit like that. He gonna say, man, you a grown man. And see, and this is why Glenn and Cliff can't stand Willie and JJ, because they see what they see is what they are not. And that's why they're so insecure. These two men, even with JJ's ponytails, they're standing in their manhood. They have great relationships with their wives, which is the total opposite of their asses, Cliff and Glenn. A real man don't do that. That's why I said real man versus Belle boys. And that's exactly what it is. But with that being said, you guys, it was a good amount of people in this live for Belle Collective. Some of you guys didn't say hello, but it's all good. Hopefully, guys start to open up more and say hello. We don't bite over here, but it definitely seems like there's an audience for the Belle Collective reviews. Even if you don't watch the show, I guess you like the review. But I appreciate you guys, and make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you on my next video. Love you guys. Toodles.